Okay, a new chapter today, and this chapter is called Sarah and the Sea, chapter 12. So when we all got to school that first Monday of the second term, it turned out that nearly everyone had heard of Ahmed's story. It had spread over the holidays more quickly than news of a new flavour packet of crisps, and just as quickly as he had become famous for being the boy that beat Brendan the bully, Ahmed became famous for being the refugee boy. I don't think anyone kept their promise to Mrs. Khan of not asking him any questions, because everyone in class tried to sneak in at least one whenever they talked to him. Even Josie and Michael and Tom couldn't help themselves and started to ask things like, did you have cheese sandwiches in Syria? Or what was the weather like in Greece? Or did you ever eat snails and frogs in France? I don't think Ahmed minded, because we were his friends. If he understood the question, he would just answer yes or no. And if he didn't understand, he would just stare at us or shrug. But there were lots of people he didn't know asking him lots of questions too. Some of them asked so many questions in one go that even we couldn't understand what they were saying, and we could speak English. Some classes even began to send messengers to see if they could find anything out. Messengers are usually the smallest kids in the class and are paid in sweets or football stickers or extra lunch tokens to get information off of them. Some of them are okay and leave you alone if you tell them that you don't want to say anything, but the ones that work for the school bullies are especially annoying. It's not their fault really, because they'll get beaten up if they go back with nothing new to tell. But sometimes they won't listen to you even after you've already given them the answer. The most annoying messenger in the school is Victor. Victor's extra skinny, even though he eats chips all day. And he has a gold earring in his ear. He works for two upper school bullies whose names I don't know, but who always hang around the lower boys' toilets and shake anyone that goes in until everything falls out their pockets. But he also works for a school of girls who always stand around the water fountain. So you'll never know who he's messaging for. After everyone had found out Ahmed was a refugee, Victor followed us around nearly the whole week. At break times, at lunch times, and even at home times, he would suddenly appear and ask lots of questions about that even I found strange. Where did you get your shoes from? Are you scared of fireworks? Can you make a tent from a shirt? And are you really 9 or are you secretly older? He got so annoying that even the break duty teachers began to notice and tell him to leave Ahmed alone, except Mr. Irons. He was the only teacher who didn't say anything. After he got told off by Miss Saunders and Miss Hemsley one break, Victor stayed away, but his questions stayed with us. Sometimes words hang around longer than people, even when they don't want them to. And whenever I was on my own, or just with Tom and Josie and Michael, Victor's questions will pop up into my head and make me wonder what they meant. The only thing that was even more annoying than the messenger was Brendan the bully, because instead of being nicer to Ahmed after seeing his pictures and hearing his story, Brendan the bully became even more horrible. He seemed to have forgotten that Ahmed could turn into a lion and punch him hundreds of times, because he began to whisper, "Oi, smelly refugee," bag, whenever he saw him. And in class he would throw spitballs whenever Mrs. Khan and Miss Hemsley weren't looking. When we told Ahmed to tell Mrs. Khan or Mrs. Saunders about it, he shook his head and said, "I'm not scared. Lots of bad people in camps. My dad say I fight them, so I fight them." Okay. That's the end of the first part of that chapter. I'm going to split it into 2 today because it's quite long, and I've got to get to school. Okay, have a fab day. Bye-bye.